Lock 10 Brewing Company.
Yeah, that's nice.
I've never heard of that one.
No, it's one I picked up from Aldi.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Maybe a tad cooler, but that is quite nice. I like that. And it's only 3.8.
3.8%. Yeah. It's good. It's the kind of drink you could have on a long drive.
Sorry?
It's the kind of drink you could have on a long drive.
Yeah, well...
That's what I call a motorway drink.
you want more than one, though.
Right.
I'm not so sure about the pink.
Oh, no, I like that.
Oh, I quite like the tin.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Or should I say salmon?
Salmon, yeah.
Pink. Salmony pink.
I think that's good.
What do you think?
Well, we'll get Wayne's little appraisal of it, and then we'll crack on. What do you think to that? Have a little wait.
I've got waiting for.
Oh, you're into this. Let the oxygen get out of it.
I'm waiting for ice cream to settle.
I always end up taking the froth off the top of mine. It never lasts. I think it's the way I drink it. Just sip it off
Are
the
you
top.
a sipper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like getting my top lip wet.
What happens when you shower? Oh, right. That must be so unattractive.
So, do we have any music news? Oh well, actually, let's open into it.
Okay,
Go on.
open into it. Well, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Listenerland. You're more than welcome. In the Grumps bar this evening, usual suspects, Wayne as he sips on his beer, Louis as he stares at Wayne sipping on his beer,
Look at that wet top lip.
and
No
my
better.
good self, why I have just sipped on my beer.
Sir Sip a lot.
Sir Sip a lot. Yeah, are we all very well this evening? We've just
well.
been discussing
Very
Louis'
well.
holiday circumnavigating Mont Blanc in the Alps.
I know they were there.
They were there.
They were there. They could see.
Oh, yeah, you were.
You did really one of those things like, oh, hello there. Didn't see you there.
I didn't see you
You
sat in the corner.
You turn around on a chair. Oh, hi,
How
guys.
the hell did you fit 5-6 million people in the corner of this bar? But you did. Well done.
Yeah.
Any news? Any news?
Not news as such, but what I have got is...
Not news as such.
No. Well, it is a bit of news, but it's more of a story-ish.
A story.
Yeah. I come across one of the books that I've got. That's right. Yeah. And I couldn't remember if I'd read it. And then as I started reading it, I realised that I had read it, but it was a long time ago. But I thought, well, I'm just going to finish it anyway.
Okay.
And there were two stories in there, and it's the Ozzy Osbourne book, I Am Ozzy,
Right,
written by himself. And as I was reading it, there were one of the things that made me laugh, but not in a funny ha-ha way, just as like that could only happen to Ozzy. So the story goes that in 1971, just let me make sure I've got that date right, I think it was 1971, he was flying from either England to America or America to England, and halfway across Atlantic, the guy outside him died.
Only happened to him, can't it?
Did he bite his head off?
No, and shoot in his pocket. Yeah, he died. So he contacted the attendant. and
As
said,
you would.
I think the guy's dead. And she went, oh, right. So they did the tests on him and everything and attended to him, and he would die. He had died. So what they did is they propped him in the window seat with his head on window against the
Shut
pillar.
up.
This is what Ozzy says.
Shut
They
up.
propped him with his head in window seat with
What's that film in the 80s,
with his
brother?
head on a pillar and transferred Ozzy into first class and left him there for the last 3 hours at flight, looking like he were asleep against window.
I am not buying that.
It's in the book.
Well, it might be in the book.
It's in the book.
I read that book, and I actually don't remember that.
Yeah, and I couldn't stop laughing. I thought that's just typical Ozzy. That
If it's true, it is typically Aussie. That. Well, I mean, how can that happen to anybody else?
I don't know. And the other one that I also think, when he was on tour, and the aeroplane crash. I forgot. His name. No. What?
Any opportunities, shoehorn it in. It's not a conspiracy. Stop it.
Guitarist that died. Forgot his name.
Randy Rhoads.
Randy Rhoads, yeah. So when he died, he says that the pilot of the plane was actually the tour bus driver.
He was, yes.
And he was on a ban for flying under influence of drugs.
Well, we all are.
But he was piloting it. So what he did is, there was, when they pulled into this stop, there was a plane. So he was taking the band crew round for a quick body. Blah, blah. So he took Randy Rhoads up, round, and he says, when the plane hit the coach that they were sleeping on, if it would have been another 2 foot up the bus, the wing that hit the plane would have gone straight through bed what him and Sharon were sleeping in and killed them both.
Yeah. There's a lot about that story that's...
Now, I'm sure there's other variations of that story.
There's a lot about that story that is desperately sad, and coincidence of being unfortunate for a lot of people on that. And there's a lot of instances in that story that people are damn lucky that they got away with it. Well, because he could have killed a lot more than just them on the plane.
Well, they said as he hit it, he rolled.
Yeah.
He did a somersault and rolled it into this bloke's garden and set his house on fire. And he went in to get this guy out. And he was an old gentleman. He was just shouting, "Get out of my house! Get out of my house!" And he's like, "Oh, you
got a plane in your front garden.
Your garage is on fire. You need to evacuate your building like now." But he didn't realise it was Randy Rhoads in plane, because apparently Randy Rhoads were absolutely petrified of flying.
There's a lot about it that didn't make sense, because he was frightened of flying. That's one of the reasons why they're on a tour bus.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what he said. But it was something to do with Randy Rhoads' girlfriend or one of the women on the tour with him that had persuaded him apparently to go on the plane with her.
I don't remember that bit. Yeah, I can see that being logical.
But he said the wing hit where the door to the bedroom was. If it had been another 2 foot up the bus, it had gone straight through bed what him and Sharon were sleeping.
Because he couldn't get around. He couldn't rouse him out of bed, could they?
No.
I wonder why. I wonder what he'd been doing.
He didn't hear it.
Wow.
I just thought, two great stories, but both
bad stories, really.
But yeah.
But the two stories, the story, it's gone down in music history, that one, hasn't it? As, you know, it's a very famous story about the incident of Randy Rhoads dying and how it all came about, and bits and pieces about it we don't really understand. But there's always something like that. When somebody dies, there's always something about, well, what if, and how come that? And there's always a bit of that involved, isn't there? But that one was tragic, really, weren't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I wonder what had happened had it continued. I mean, they made them 2 albums with Randy Rhoads, didn't it? And then...
But he'd said after that tour he was leaving anyway, didn't he, Randy Rhoads?
Yeah, he'd had enough, hadn't he?
Yeah, he said he wanted to go back to do what he was doing.
But it come from Quiet Riot. And they were a sort of, in America, they're more of, we never heard of them over here, but in America, they'd really done the first, you know, like when Van Halen and Motley Crue and all them were hitting the scene at that time, they were really the first ones that did it, Quiet Riot.
I think, I mean, I haven't made notes of this, so I could be mistaken on this one, but I seem to think that he was becoming quite into classical
He'd always been into classical.
And he wanted to do something classical on guitar.
Well, let me just...
That's why he was leaving the band after that tour.
One of his habits that he used to do when they go to a concert, when they get like there, and they weren't playing till 9 o'clock at night, they get to a city, and he'd just drift off and go round. And he'd look for some musicians, or he'd look for some instructors, and he'd have some lessons, classical lessons.
Yeah.
That's one of his favourite things to do.
Oh, probably.
Because he weren't a party animal. He liked to go and have some classical lessons on his guitar.
It's funny you should say that, because one of the news stories I've learnt today is... I've taken a screenshot of it. Is that 84% of the general population want to experience an orchestral concert. New studies reveal.
Oh.
Now, okay, this is slightly skewed because it does come from Classic FM News.
Oh, right.
But no, this is a music podcast.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course Classic FM is going to say that 84% of the general population want to experience an orchestral concert. So, would you want to experience an orchestral concert?
Yeah.
No.
No? What if it was Joe Bonamassa on strings?
No, I'd hit him.
Oh, what, like a puppet? Like a Thunderbird.
I mean, technically, Joe Bonamassa does play strings. It's
He
just
does, yeah.
on a
Yeah,
guitar.
he does.
No, I would definitely go to that.
Yeah, I don't mind a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know one of the best things I ever saw? We was in London and we was in Covent Garden
A man fell over.
and a man fell over. No, and there was a little string quartet in corner.
How big were they?
There was
Two of
midgets.
them. Two of them.
No, there was a hobo, two violinists,
I don't even think you can say hobo these days.
and I don't think you can say hobo anymore.
Why?
'Cause it's confused as hobo. There was a little quartet in corner.
Yeah, nice.
And I was mesmerised by it. Because when you see, I love to see live music anyway. But when you see, it could be a bloke playing a piano. It could be just a solo violinist. It could be somebody playing a guitar. I don't mind. But this little quartet in corner, they were so good. I don't know what they were playing. I have no idea because I can't tell you. That's not my thing. But I enjoyed it. That's all that matters. But I was riveted to spot watching them.
Did you tip him?
I could
The sound of it was great.
Yeah.
Did you give him a tip?
I did.
Yeah, don't eat yellow snuff.
Don't do that again.
No, if they were out in streets, I'd have a squint at them.
That'd be intimidating.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'd have a squint and I'd probably stand and watch them for a while. But if somebody said, "Do you want to go to, I don't know, O2 and watch Mick Dudley?"
Don't you think
his
there's some
amazing
boxes that you ought to tick,
trombonists and
even
all
though they're
that
not
stuff?
really on your probably bucket list? But you think, well, I should actually look at that.
No.
There was that thing, weren't there, in the I think it was the early noughties or late 90s, maybe early noughties, where Pavarotti was he was collaborating with contemporary artists like U2, James Brown. He was doing things in pop music, wasn't he?
Michael Bolton,
and the legend that is.
the legend that is.
Yeah, he was doing things like that, which I thought was interesting. And some of the stuff was actually really good. So there's a great U2 song called Miss Sarajevo, which was a single, and Pavarotti. I mean, I know it's like opera, but I'm classing it as classical
Popular music,
orchestral music. But it was very good.
If you look before the Three Tenors came out, which is a few years ago now.
What, 30 quid?
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Before that came out, when you got, I can't even remember who was it, Carrera, Pavarotti, and Placido Domingo. Well remembered, Geoff, and there's no notes involved there.
Placido Domingo.
Placido Domingo.
He has wrote it on by the way.
Placido Domingo's right there.
And that came out, and that was extremely popular. And look how many little groups of male singers has come on since then. There's been loads of them, but that was the first one.
Oh, some of these tenors are
And they were
amazing
fantastic.
voices.
It were fantastic.
Yeah.
Prior to that, they were just... The only time you heard Pavarotti when he sang World Cup anthem.
Once every 4 years.
Football.
Sorry?
Once every 4 years.
No. Do you know the one he sang?
Yeah.
I don't know what...
Nessun Dorma.
Nessun Dorma. Where was it at?
I think it was it Italy?
Sounds about right for Pavarotti.
What year was it?
Well, Italia would have been 82.
82?
Could that be too early?
No, I don't know. I'm going to be guided by you on that one. It sounds about right. Maybe... I would have probably gone a tad later.
86. Where was that? 86 was Spain. 78 was Argentina.
Was he still big? That was in like
Oh,
overweight?
yeah, he's always
Oh, he's always a big man.
I remember listening to an
I
interview.
think 86 was Spain. 2000 was, I think that were America. I could be wrong on
Atlanta?
these.
Oh, no, that's the Olympics, wasn't it?
That was
Yeah.
2000, so 2002. No, we're getting too late again then.
I think I'm right in saying that Nessun Dorma means none shall sleep.
Well, you won't do him singing in Daniel Rose, will you, with a voice like that?
Big lungs.
Big lungs.
Big
man.
lungs, yeah.
Plenty
I think
of
it
room,
means
plenty,
none shall sleep.
Plenty of room for him.
Plenty of room for lungs. That could have been an album title.
But look how popular it
Whole
came
lot of
after
skin.
that. We all like that though, don't we? Even you like that.
Oh, yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind listening to Three Tenors and, is it Botticelli? And,
Yeah,
you know,
Botticelli.
people like that. I think they've got brilliant voice, unbelievable voices.
Yeah.
Unbelievable voices. But I couldn't
Botticelli, you could say, is blinding, right?
Oh. Now, if I'd have said that, you'd have gone, oh, my
Is
But
he-
the thing is,
is
you
he-
didn't. And
is
if
he-
you did say something, it would be highly offensive.
He's here all night.
And then he'll edit it out.
No, but I don't think I could like go and watch an orchestra. We know singing in just people on violins and cellos.
Well, I
Not
don't
even if
know.
they're doing like Star Wars theme tune.
I find it extremely.
I mean, they are.
It's not my chosen thing to go and
brilliant
watch.
people,
No,
and they're
but
very gifted in what they do. But it's just not me. It's,
when you hear all them instruments playing at once, I think it's almost it's I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Emotional.
I mean, yeah, credit where credit's due. They are very, very talented people. They are very, very talented musicians, and rightly so in their own right. It's
I don't think it's about that way. And I think it's about the concept of all them people playing in unison, and they're all fulfilling that big space with sound.
I get that.
It's great.
It's just not me. It's,
it's all right.
it's like going to a Spice Girls concert. You know, it's
Like, what?
It's
you're
not for me.
talking in riddle. You're talking in tongues now.
Isn't
In
the
folk
chord
tongue.
progression, or I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure that, like, the turn of the last century or something like that, the thing that determines popular music is the chord or the chord progression or the 1-4-5 and stuff like that. Because in classical music, they don't use chords; they use notes and melodies, which are all interwoven. So they're all harmonizing in different ways.
Oh, you've
And
got me
it's-
now on
and-
theory.
And I think that's what it is. So when you talk about how it's moving, I think it's because it's a swell of melodies.
The volume of it all.
So you'll have, let's say, a cello on string, a string-based cello, and you'll have a trombone. Let's say I don't know how they compose it, but all these instruments are making up a note palette, which you could call a chord, and it's like a swell, isn't it? Now the stringed instruments are actually really tremendously difficult to play. I mean, not only are they not fretted, there's have to be certain ways that they'll hold the string. So I hold the bow, and they have to do front and back and forth, and it's tremendously difficult. And, and like I don't know how they do it.
No, like I said,
And the vibrato, they have to do it.
They're very, very talented musicians, but they just. I don't think I could sit there.
Honestly, the guy at the back goes.
Is there no piece of classical music that you've ever thought, "Oh, that's nice"?
What about the Hovis song?
That's all right. But I like to watch the advert bit. I like the old boy on bike delivering bread.
But isn't
this
Coronation Street theme tune.
Star Wars theme tune. That's all right.
Indiana Jones.
Is that about as classical as you get?
Probably.
Well, that's not good for me. You should work on that one.
No,
I
ain't got time for that.
Rejected out of hand then.
This is a segment we like to call Wayne's not got time for that.
It's not a new thing we've got. We were talking earlier that we were approaching our first anniversary of doing this, and that was from the beginning. Wayne ain't got time for that.
Wayne ain't got time for that.
I don't have a lot of time. I'm a very busy man. I'm always doing something.
Crime waits for no one.
Absolutely. I have to put my Batman vest on.
You know how hard it is getting into that latex.
And run round streets of Rotherham with my underpants on outside.
No, that's not the first time you've done that.
No, it's not. Probably not last.
Well, I hope so.
But today is the 1st of September.
It is 1st of September today.
And on the 1st of September in 2011, Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day got thrown off a plane and was not allowed to fly. Any guesses why?
Drunk?
Nope.
Naked?
Nope.
He wanted to...
No.
Okay.
He wouldn't turn his phone off?
No. He wouldn't pull his pants up. He was wearing his trousers too low.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Wow.
That prison look.
They kicked him off at plane and took his ticket off him.
Good. That'll teach
Which I
you.
thought were funny.
I mean,
Well, I can't get on with that. I
must be
can't
offensive,
get on with
though.
that. As a statement, I can't even see, well, why is that working for you? That's just, it's uncomfortable. You want to make a statement, at least make it so that you're comfortable doing it.
Well,
But
do you know,
Safety first, kids.
Yeah.
Be comfortable.
do you know what
whilst
do
protesting.
you know what the statement stands for?
Sorry?
Do you know what the statement stands for?
What statement?
Weren't it a prison thing?
Wearing your pants halfway down your bum, or down to the bottom
I
of your
thought it
bum.
was just a fashion thing.
What? No. Now
Are you going to say it's a cracking look?
it is. No, I've been told this of two people that are both
Ex-cons.
gay, and they have. Why? They are,
All right, okay.
and they've said they wear them. And I don't know if it's just in prison or if it means it on the outside as well. But when they wear the trousers down to the bottom of the bum like it is, it means that they're single.
Rubbish.
That's what they said.
They're single but gay.
No, when a man loves another man and they happen to be in the big house,
No, the big house.
the way to show the man who also loves another man
I don't
or
know.
is curious is to
that's what
make
they
sure
both
the shop
said.
is open.
at all times. No, that's what they said, that when they wear them, because they said, I don't know why
Somebody's
this is.
pulling your chain.
Because remember, not a lot of people have got time on their hands.
No.
If you're in and out.
Well, they said, I don't know why it's become a fashion, because in the gay fraternity, that means that they are single. When they're
I
out,
can't argue with you, Wayne,
when
because
they're
I
out
don't
on
know.
town, or if you go into gay bars and stuff like that.
Anyone wait to find
No,
out?
as it happens, I don't.
Well, no, I'm saying if you do that, that's how they can tell when people are partnered up or not.
Right.
If they've got the pants under the tits, then they're married. If they've got them at the waist, they're with a partner, and if they're halfway down the legs, they're single.
So it's not just music we're talking about;
apparently-
it's fashion.
Fashion,
The do's and
fashion
don'ts
and
of
music.
fashion.
See, this podcast covers everything.
It does.
Apart from Uranus.
And I even said the word without laughing. I'm so proud of myself.
Well done.
Yeah, you've done well.
I'm
You've come on so much.
I'm getting better.
Yeah. This would have been a lot of editing 12 months ago.
Yes,
Well, 3 weeks ago.
but I've grown into it.
Well,
Unlike some of them that wear the pants down their trousers, they
Yeah.
to oink them up. But anyway, it got
so people use it now as a fashion statement, not understanding why it actually came about.
Apparently, yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what they said, that they don't know why they do that, because it's not a fashion statement. It means that they are single. Apparently.
I just think it looks
I don't know. I'm
ready
sure
to
somebody may comment on that and tell me if I've been, just had my leg pulled.
I'm sure you will do. But you
or
will,
it might.
But who's going to disprove it?
They might say, no, that is right. It is it's not a fashion thing.
On the subject of that, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, according to Sky News, soundtrack has been voted the nation's favourite film music.
Really?
Yes.
Can you hum it?
I'm not a big fan of Lord of the Rings.
What? How dare you?
I can't remember it, to be honhonest with you.
I don't know it either. Do you know it?
No.
Do you know what I found
love
the
Lord of
biggest
the Rings.
earworm in anything like that was? I've learnt to loathe Star Wars because it's just that thing that's been around for years. And it just gets on your nerves now.
Brilliant.
But no, it's not.
It is.
But do you know
that Star Wars? Sorry to interrupt. Star Wars. A lot of it was just based on the Bible. It's the Bible. It's religion for geeks. It is. It's a lot of it is just based on the characters are based on the Bible.
Yeah, I get that.
Where's your-
this
where's your
spiritually,
document
this
Bible then?
spiritually type person that
Which
appears.
one in Bible is green with
Like
great
Three
big
Wise
ears?
Men.
No, the presence of this Yoda, Obi-Wan that comes down and sorts them all out and helps them out. I can get that, yeah, I can get that. No, it's not that. It's the music to that I gets on my nerves. What about that recent thing, Game of Thrones?
Uh-huh.
I found that quite earwormy.
I can't remember.
I can't remember it at the moment.
As in
But when
what?
it came on, it's that. And I just quite like.
Did it not go?
Doom, do 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 doom, do 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 doom,
Something like
doom,
that.
do, yeah.
No, I think
That's the
that
bell.
The bill. Oh, you used to be a big fan
Bill,
of
oh,
that.
I've watched every episode of that.
Yeah, that's not to brag about.
It is. It was amazing. When I went on holiday, I used to set my VHS recorder to tape on a Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then when I got back, I watched it all.
Wow.
Brilliant. I never missed an episode.
I mean,
I watched it for, I don't know, I'll
I remember back then when he was saying, I've got to get back Bills on. And I thought, who's this friendly Scott?
here's a question then. So
Maybe he keeps his pants really low.
what's your favourite theme tune? Did you know that most theme tunes are in the key of C because there's no sharps or flats and it's easy to remember because most nursery rhymes are in the key of C?
I don't know. Didn't know that.
And it's easy to play on the piano because it's tuned to C.
My favourite?
Yeah, do you have a favourite like Coronation Street,
No.
EastEnders?
No.
All right, go on now.
It's got to be a TV series.
You get a theme tune.
A theme tune.
Usually related to a TV show. It could be Postman Pat.
It's not that one.
All right.
I'm trying to think about that, and I can't. Nothing springs to mind.
No, I don't really.
Have you got one?
Not really. I mean, you know,
That's
EastEnders
a very good
is...
question, then. Isn't
Well,
it?
I don't know. It's
You threw that one out there, didn't you?
yes, and it's obviously you're too proud to. Oh,
No, I can't think of one. I can't think of one. Let me.
go compare. Oh, he's trying to be really cool. Oh, what's the theme tune to the?
I don't know.
The All Blues documentary.
Yes,
No, I don't
the
know.
History Channel.
No, I couldn't tell you what
I
my
think it's
favourite.
just a man yawning, isn't it?
I couldn't tell you what my favourite. I can tell you one of my favourite pieces of music from a film is.
So a theme tune, yeah.
Yeah, theme
Go on, then.
tune from the film Paris by Raikuda. Yeah, sorry, I like that. I like
you
that.
see that? He's just trying to be cool.
I'm trying to be desperately to be cool.
Yeah, well,
because I am.
that's what cool people say. I am cool.
No, that's what psychopaths say. I am not mad.
I'm not mad. Any more? Oh, do you know what's going to happen, by the way, in 20 days? Do you know what happens every year? Do you not remember?
Change the date.
21st of September.
Yeah, do you not? No, you don't remember?
No.
Do you remember the 21st night of September?
What is that? It?
Earth, Wind and Fire
Okay.
Day. Also, it's Simon Mayo's birthday. Who's a radio DJ. Music.
Oh, right.
There you go.
Happy
Facts.
birthday, Simon
Mayo.
Mayo.
Onays.
Where did you get that from?
I just know it.
He's an author as well. He's got some successful books out.
All right.
Yeah.
Condiments by Simon Mayo.
Now, okay. I'm gonna give you a bit of news, which I thought you would have known about.
Well, give me a hint. I might know about it.
Rolling Stones.
Nope. Never heard of them.
Bit of news by the Rolling Stones.
No?
They're releasing a new album.
If you're going to say that it's going to be featuring members of the Beatles,
I'm not.
oh, all right. I don't know.
Yeah. It's going to be released, and the title of it is Hackney Diamonds. It's already been announced as Hackney Diamonds.
That's a pretty cool name.
Yeah.
Hackney Diamonds.
They ran an advert in Hackney, was it the Hackney Chronicle or something like that? Hackney Press.
Hackney Star.
Hackney Star, was it? You've obviously got this bit of information.
Yeah, I read it.
And it said, and it would give it was like a spoof advert. Get your windows fixed. Get them done today, whatever. But it's actually, people thought, that's a bit weird. They've looked into it a bit more. And it turns out that it's the Rolling Stones subliminal advertising for their new album.
Ah,
And it's going to be called Hackney
Diamonds.
Windows.
Hackney.
Yeah, Hackney Diamonds.
You get a free installation with every album.
free
purchase.
installation.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Is it original stuff or is it going to be covered?
No, it's original stuff.
Right.
No, it's the first original stuff. They did a blues album, which is obviously old stuff,
Yeah,
rehashed and reworked. But this is completely new material.
Okay, so I don't think they've done an album of new material since like
18 years.
No, has it been 18 years?
18 years,
Since
apparently,
the
yeah.
noughties, yeah. Wow, 18 years. Wow.
I heard a comment a few episodes back. Well, quite a few episodes back. We're on about critics, and my dislike of critics.
I remember that one.
Yeah, we all remember that one. And there's the person that I wouldn't name, but I'm going to name him tonight, Charles Shaw Murray. Now, as a critic, I still dislike the man. He got so much wrong and then fell into line because everybody else liked stuff. I don't want to get onto that high horse now, but as a music writer, I like him. When he's not critiquing things and he's just writing about music and writing about musicians. I like him because he's quite funny. He can be quite sarcastic and humorous. He's quite good. So that part I can put up with. And I heard him saying a funny thing about the Stones, and it was just recently, and he said that he went on about the concept of a great band and a perfect band. Well, I don't think there's a perfect band. There's great bands. There's no perfect band.
Isn't there a line from a Stereophonic song about a perfect wife, but that doesn't exist or something like that? Yeah.
Possibly. I don't think there's a perfect band. He claims that the Beatles are a perfect band.
Well, if they're not perfect, why did they split up?
Well, no, what his argument is if you take any element out of that band, you haven't got the Beatles. And I can sort of see that. If you take Ringo out, well, yeah, he was quite unique in what he did. If you take John Lennon out, I suppose the weak link would be George Harris.
Nah, I mean, he was good. I mean,
well, yeah, then I suppose his theory's right. It's the perfect band, isn't it? But what he said about the Rolling Stones was that if you keep Keith, Mick and Charlie Watts, you've got the Stones.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the positions can be fulfilled by any warm-bodied person that can fit the bill.
Well,
it's a bit harsh, I
think if you kept Paul and Lennon in Beatles, you could replace other two.
I don't think you could.
No. I do. I don't think anybody in any band's irreplaceable.
No, they're not.
Replaceable.
Poor old Ronnie didn't get a look in on this one because he's been there over 30 years and yeah, but, I suppose what he does, a lot of other people could do.
He hasn't written any hits, though, has he?
No.
He's not a big writer. So I think, in terms of when Bill Wyman left, now we don't know how much he contributed to songs, like, especially in the 80s when they were using a lot more bass. I think, isn't like Under the Thumb had a big bass rundown and stuff like that. But the Stones haven't really been chart relevant since the 90s.
No.
I mean, they have had some hits, but they've not like really been dominating like they were in the 80s and the early 90s.
Yeah, but it's like he says, and if you get some competent warm bodies, you've still got the Stones if you replace. But it's long that you've got to have Keith, Mick and Charlie.
But they could have said that when Brian Jones was alive because he was the favourite. He was the main writer. And everyone would be like, well, if you take Keith out, you've still got Brian. But I don't know. Yeah, I get what they're saying. Yeah, it's. But then again, like the Beatles were weren't they only together for 7 years?
I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know now.
But it's like Gene Simmons of Kiss. He said, didn't it, that Kiss could go on for another 100 years because they'll just
the concept that's what they intend to do, isn't it?
Just keep replacing the existing members with other people.
Yeah, because the costumes they can actually not appear on stage.
Yeah, but Kiss will still be going when Gene Simmons
go out and play the music.
Sat watching them on telly. He's, you know what I mean. I think that's true with any band. I don't think anybody is that high up the ladder that they can't be replaced by somebody. There's always somebody just as good or better than you out there.
It's a cheery note.
Really, you're right in what you said. I don't agree with possibly, he said one of the other bands that you could do it with is U2. I think if you could take The Edge and Bono, the other two could be anybody.
Yeah, they could, yeah.
You say that, don't you? But
I just did.
But I
think you could
know enough about
Bono.
drumming or bass in that matter. Like, just because they're not doing like tremendous.
Well, if you'd have said that before Charlie Watts had died, you would say, "Oh no, you can't replace Charlie."
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's difficult.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a yes or a no to it. It's
look at Taylor with Fools. Who would have thought that he could have been replaced? And look at what they've done now.
Yeah. It's a theory,
and to be fair to him,
you can't say it's wrong and you can't say it's right because it's one of them. It's an opinion, isn't it?
Yeah. To be fair to Neil Drummond of Fools, when they played that gig at Glastonbury, you wouldn't have known that he wasn't there.
I guess we're just looking for the characters, aren't we? And so let's say Aerosmith. You've got Steve Tyler and Joe Perry. They're the main characters of the band. The rest of them are sort of like quiet and let's say in the background. Yeah. They have huge contributions to the band, but they aren't dating the public eye. So you find it difficult to imagine Aerosmith without Steve Tyler or Joe Perry.
Look,
Do you know?
they did that with Journey, the original singer. They replaced him with somebody off of YouTube. Were it YouTube?
Yeah, yeah.
And if you listen to somebody's the new singer stuff,
Steve Perry
you wouldn't know.
got replaced by.
I can't remember the new guy's name.
Oh my lord!
But when you listen to the new guy, Arnell, yeah.
Arnell.
If you listen to the new guy, you wouldn't know it's not Perry.
Hmm.
You're like, well,
Sings as good as Perry at his peak.
yeah. So I think there's always somebody there that's either willing or there or thereabouts to come and step in. Somewhere around corner, there's a new Mick Jagger. Somewhere there's a new Elton John. There's always somebody somewhere that could come into a band, and I think could take the place. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be as good or as successful, but I don't think anybody in any band is not
Indispensable.
Indispensable.
They're all just a number.
Well, I disagree completely with what you're just saying, because if you take Steve Perry out of Aerosmith, you haven't got Aerosmith.
Or Joe Perry, even.
Or Joe.
Or Joe
What
Perry.
you're doing is
Joe
you're
Perry.
combining the two to make a super group. Steve Perry.
Well, he was
Perrys.
with Journey. Sorry,
Steve Tyler.
I was still with still Tyler.
The new band's called The Perrys.
The Perrys, yeah.
And
See,
Kate-
we do make mistakes.
And Katie's singing.
It was you.
So you've got
I think
Steve
you could.
Tyler. Take Steve Tyler out of the equation. You haven't got Aerosmith.
No. But you could replace him with somebody else.
Yeah, but you haven't got Aerosmith.
Yeah, you ain't got Aerosmith. Like, you can't replicate. I mean, you can, a bit karaoke. Like, Steve Tyler,
He's one on his own.
He's one on his own.
Yeah, he is one on his own. But
I know, should you try and be someone else, you should own it like yourself. Like the guy who does Freddie Mercury. Do you know in Queen? I can't remember his name now. Adam Lambert. He's not trying to be Freddie.
no,
He's just trying to be Adam Lambert, and he does a really good job of it, and they do really successful tours.
so somebody could come in and do Steve Tyler without trying to be Steve Tyler, but keep Aerosmith going.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They don't. I'm not saying they're going to come in and they're trying to copy him, but they're going to come in and be good enough to keep that band going for another, probably, let's say 4 or 5 years.
Speaking
or
of
at least
Aerosmith,
another two tours or something like that.
I don't know.
I don't. I just
I suppose
don't
if
think
you'd have asked me
anybody.
before Freddie Mercury died, I would probably say, no, you can't do it. But Adam Lambert did.
Yeah.
did.
And who would have thought that you could replace Freddie Mercury?
And Paul Rogers did. So, yeah, I suppose.
Exactly. Maybe
I suppose your argument shoots mine out at water. But
yeah, but
I can't see Aerosmith being not Aerosmith. without
If
that.
you asked 100
It's
people,
like taking Mick away from Stones, isn't it?
but they're not recording new material, are they?
No.
So that they're basically being like a best of album, best of touring band.
Yeah.
But speaking of Aerosmith, Spotify sent me a lovely notification the other day, and they were like, "Oh, we've noticed that you're a fan of Aerosmith, and we thought we'd send you this." I was like, "Oh, okay."
$10,000.
Well, I clicked on it, and what it was a pop-up of a hoodie with Aerosmith on it. It's like, we're giving you this exclusive offer to buy
Really?
an Aerosmith hoodie. It was a very basic hoodie, a black hoodie with Aerosmith logo on.
Yeah.
£60. Oh, what a...
How many did you get?
I got 14.
Excellent.
absolutely.
You can sell them at profit.
Sell them at 80.
That's not a deal,
I'll
is
get
it?
it.
I don't like that.
I'll get 80 quid.
It's not like they're a
I
struggling
don't like that
band.
marketing tactic.
No.
No, but it's not like they're a struggling band. Like, I mean, I wouldn't anyway.
No,
but
who's selling it? Aerosmith or
Steve
Spotify?
Tyler is got a car boot sale. He's just out for a bit of money. Look at like
Is it-
American Idol.
Is it what they call it, isn't it, on a Sunday morning? Crown.
Yeah,
In back
shifting dodgy DVDs.
Dodgy DVDs. So
That's it,
going back to the Stones and the new album, well, the new single will be called Angry.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
When's it out?
6th of September.
Oh,
The new
so
single
really?
lands on the 6th of September.
I'll be interested to hear what that's going to be.
I thought you'd have been all over that.
No.
Well, I read that, or did I read it, or did Planet Rocks or that? And now we're going to write it down. And I thought, no, because Lawyer already know about that. He'll have come. He'll have
Yeah, I
already
thought
got
you'd have
that.
been on that one.
Well, haven't I shown you both?
What else is going to be today, actually? What else is going to be released today?
I don't know. Oh, isn't it Joe Bonamassa?
No.
From
no,
prison.
It's not. No, it's not. Does anybody know of any new music that's going to be landing today?
I don't. Not.
Today being the 1st of September, Friday the 1st of September.
But this won't be when the episode is aired.
Royal Blood's new album, something like that.
Is it? Fair enough. Excellent.
I've not heard it yet.
Okay. Is that the only one you know of? Well, I'm disappointed, Wayne. I don't mind telling you, because you are a big fan of Guns N' Roses.
I am.
Otherwise known as
GNR.
Great North Rail.
And yet you don't know that their new single lands today.
No, not heard that one.
Yep.
No.
They're releasing some new music, and there's a new album on its way.
Yeah, I know the new
What's
one.
it called? Welcome to the Care Home.
It could well be. But the new single is called Perhaps.
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 Doesn't sound like a great line to sing, does it? Perhaps. It's a bit...
Well,
Well, it could be.
Perhaps you don't want to.
Perhaps he doesn't, yeah.
Well, when you say new music,
Ah.
Oh, is it a cover?
This is not off that Chinese one, is it?
Chinese Democracy.
Chinese Democracy.
No, this goes further back to the first album. When they were recording first album, Appetite for Destruction,
Appetite for Destruction.
they recorded somewhere in the region of 26 numbers
Did they?
and only put 11 on album.
Yeah.
The rest of them got rejected because they wasn't good enough. Perhaps
So these
was
are
one of the ones that
so
wasn't
these like
recorded.
a
was rejected.
remastered one.
So basically, 30 odd years later, a lot of years later, they're going to release this Perhaps track and claim it's new music. I mean, they might have done a remastering, right? They might have done a reversion of
Is it going to be any good? If they didn't release it 30 years ago, why are they going to release it now?
Yeah, they didn't think it was good enough then. Times have changed now. People's opinions might be...
I heard the all album is that.
Sorry?
I heard the new album is all tracks that's been
There's some from that period, Appetite for Destruction, and there's some from the Chinese Democracy.
Yeah,
it's like...
Because I think they did say with that, didn't they? They wrote something like 22 tracks for it and put like
and a lot of
9
them
on
recorded,
album.
but they didn't think they were any good. They did the same thing a couple of years ago, and the old school, new school, or something like that. They recorded, and they were from Chinese Democracy. They were rejects from that period.
Is this the album where he sings completely in Chinese?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Is this the album where he sings completely in Chinese?
Yeah.
Well,
About Parliament.
well, they've just come off a very successful
I didn't
tour.
particularly like that album though.
What is... And the claiming there's going to be some new music on there. I hope there is.
I don't think there is.
It'll be interesting
hope
to hear
there
it.
is.
It will be interesting to hear it.
Because you can't rehash music from albums that didn't... From tracks that didn't make the albums in the first place.
But if they don't say anything, we won't know because they're unheard of tracks, aren't they?
Some geek
A
will know,
lot.
though.
It will come out.
Oh, we've just listened to this last week.
It's better that they're saying it now because it would come out, and then people would say, "Oh, really?" And it would be harder to argue against.
I've got a funny feeling that is what they're going to do. They're going to use unknown tracks from last 30 years.
They are. I don't think you'll be on your own thinking that one.
Fetch them out as a new album and say, yeah, we've spent the last 6 weeks putting these tracks together. Well, yeah, you have, but you haven't been writing them.
No. Well, they might say they're
wrong.
completely different to how we originally...
I hope I'm wrong.
Reimagined. They'll go down that route, shall we? They might say it's the reimagined versions of the originals. So they'll class it as being new music.
Yeah.
So I personally won't be on with that one.
I'll get a listen.
Oh, yeah, get a listen. Why not?
Yeah.
You know.
Be interesting to see if you can...
Yeah.
What he sounds like. Because I wasn't impressed on him live. But you said he was
Yeah,
totally different, wasn't he?
When you're there, yeah. But that's drugs for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes everything sound different.
I don't know. And did you... The other thing I wanted to bring up, wooden balls.
Oh, thank you.
Do you know the Fleetwood Mac album?
I was going to say, yeah. Fleetwood Mac.
And the two wooden balls that are on display beneath.
Don't tell me they're on auction, are they?
They've been sold.
Oh, good Lord.
They sold them off.
Who's bought them? Which pervert has bought them? Oh, I bet I know it is.
Somebody with a wooden
Michael Ball.
Michael
Bloody Ball himself.
Michael Bublé's bought it. No, it's good to Music Care Foundation.
Oh.
Oh, yawn. No, it's good to Music Care Foundation. Part of it is going to Music Care Foundation. But they've actually sold for how much? No, they're actually two wooden balls on, I think it's a bit of string. That was not what there was originally. They were actually toilet chains originally. And they were the hand, what you grab out of, and when you flush the chain.
$150,000.
$150,000 for a wooden ball.
$500,000.
500,000. Come on.
I don't know. 20 quid.
$128,000.
So
Oh, I wasn't far off.
No, you weren't far off. You're very close.
That's not bad for me.
No, good effort, that. You,
I don't know.
hang your head in shame.
Well, I just yeah.
Well, I know it's not your thing, wooden
Hang
balls,
your head,
but
hang your head like a wooden ball on a toilet chain.
He used to wear them all the time on tour and stuff. So I
Wooden
imagine,
balls?
like, he didn't just wear them for the photo shoot.
oh no,
He wore them all the time.
well, they were his thing.
It was a shtick.
It was a.
Is that why they called the song "The Chain"?
I don't know actually. It could be.
No.
Plop.
Blue.
Oh, we've got a floater.
So have you got any more?
I do. I have one piece of news, and Wayne, if we can wrap up, we can do it. If just because we're on 53 minutes.
Oh,
We got this.
we got this.
You can do
Right.
this. You can do this.
Right. Action.
Did you know that they might have rumbled who Banksy is?
Really?
Do you know the graffiti artist
Yeah,
Banksy? The elusive graffiti artist Banksy.
I think they know he is.
Well, there's a theory out at the moment, strong theory, that it's the lead singer from Massive Attack.
What?
Huh?
Really?
Really?
Because a guy,
His name is Banksy?
a guy's filmed some guys coming out of a van and stuff like that. But Banksy always seems to do like a piece of work wherever they have been on tour. So it could be the singer of Massive Attack or one of the members. But the rumor is going around that it's a singer of Massive Attack.
Really?
What I want to know is
Who's Banksy?
how
Well,
do you contact Banksy when you commission him to do a piece of work?
I don't think he does commissions, does he?
Does he not?
No.
He just does random
Yeah,
bits.
but he has a publisher, so the publisher must know who he is, but he's probably got a way around that. But yeah, the rumor is it's Massive Attack. And on that note,
No, I've got a bigger bombshell.
go on then.
Oh,
You know the Monty Python thing? Do you know what it's called?
The circus?
No, it's called the Liberty Bell March.
Bong.
And on that note,
No.
Whoa,
but I've got-
wait. Goodbye.